Bonjour, Véronique Véro reporting from my hometown in Toulouse. This is my last evening in town, and I thought I would bring you along on a walk in a favorite neighborhood of mine called Les Carmes, C-A-R-M-E-S. This is a pretty old neighborhood where a long time ago, for several centuries, there was a convent, hence the name Les Carmes. That convent was destroyed at the very beginning of the 19th century, and eventually it was replaced by a market. And this neighborhood became the belly of Toulouse. The market became very modern in the late 19th century. It was the time that Victor Baltard built the beautiful Les Halles, the pavilions, glass and steel pavilions in Paris. And that became known as the belly of Paris. So the same thing was done here in Toulouse. Unfortunately, in the 1960s, sounds familiar, the market was taken down and they built instead a giant parking lot, a bit of an aerial parking lot, and underneath placed another market. The market is quite fun. It's a really nice market, but it's nowhere near as nice as what was here in the 19th century. At any rate, Les Carmes remains a very popular neighborhood in Toulouse. Many, many restaurants, cafes, wine bars. You will always see a lot of people here at night. So I am going to take you on a walk around this neighborhood. We are now in a street known as La Rue des Filatiers. For those of you who like to follow what's happening here, quite crowded. It's another beautiful day in August. And I am going to take you through some of these streets that are really pretty. And we will end this walk by the river that runs through Toulouse, La Garonne. In case you don't know me, my name is Véronique. My friends call me Véro. I am a long-time travel blogger and a Paris-based tour guide. I tell stories. I tell stories on my blog, FrenchGirlInSeattle.com. I tell stories in social media, Facebook, Instagram, under Friends with Vero. I tell stories in videos and live-streamed walks in my YouTube channel. So here you have a map of Toulouse that's been here for a long time, I think. It's 7:30 p.m. on a Monday. So for a lot of people, it's apéritif or apéro time before dinner. We are in Toulouse, the fourth largest French city, after Paris, Marseille, and Lyon. About 500,000 people live here. Toulouse has been for many years a really fast growing city. Airbus Industries is headquartered here, and it's become a hotbed of the aerospace industry. There's also research, very good universities, pretty young crowd here, lots of students. The history of the city is also very interesting. It's played a major part in this region's story, and this region is known as l'Occitanie, Occitania. A few days ago, I took you on a live-streamed walk in another section of Toulouse. This happened on Facebook, on Friends with Vero, but I will share, if I haven't already, the replay on my YouTube channel. Let's wait here for a sec. You see, not quite yet dinner time. Dinner will start later. Pardon. So I want to show you what I was referring to earlier. Picture here in the late 19th century a beautiful covered market with pavilions very similar to the ones that were in Paris at that time. And then in the 1960s they destroyed those pavilions, and Le Marché des Carmes, the local market, becomes this parking lot. And then on the bottom, it's closed today because it's Monday, there is a rather large market. So for now, we are going to follow La Rue des Pollinaires. Notice the signs are in French and in Occitan as well. The Occitan is still taught in many schools in Occitania, in this part of France. Schools have bilingual sections, and it's still spoken. So everything you see in this neighborhood has the name Carmes in it, C-A-R-M-E-S. It's the name of the neighborhood. So this is an art gallery. You will notice as we go, especially right now, the sunset is near, that Toulouse has this beautiful architecture with the brick facades, the tiled rooftops, and that's where its nickname comes from. La Ville Rose, the Pink City. Though the brick really didn't become trendy again until the mid-1950s, so it hasn't been that long since all the facades have been returned to their original aspect. But when the Romans were around here more than 2,000 years ago, they were already pretty big on using brick. It certainly gives Toulouse a very different look from other cities we've gone through this summer. If you have joined my travels, I have followed Western France all the way south to southwestern France, sharing what I saw with you in social media and on Facebook. Le Potiron d'Or, the golden pumpkin. It's an épicerie, a grocery store. And here's the golden pumpkin. Even the buildings that look old in Toulouse have a very special charm. The shutters very often are this beautiful blue color. It's referred to as pastel blue, P-A-S-T-E-L, because pastel is one of the reasons the city knew wealth at one point in time, from the mid-15th to the mid-16th century roughly. And it was used as a dye in construction, in cosmetics eventually. So you see this blue, pale blue color quite a lot on the facades. I hope the video shows that. And you can see how the sun makes the brick really glow. We are Rue Henri de Gorsse, G-O-R-S-S-E. And les Toulousains, we are in southern France, love nothing more than spending time outdoors, sitting outside, having a drink. And you can see those scenes repeating themselves all over southern France. We are right next to a beautiful church, which I will show you in a minute, and you can see it's rather massive. Le nez rouge, the red nose, is still awaiting its customers. It's still early for dinner. And look at this beautiful half-timbered home. So you can see a real diversity of architectural styles in Toulouse. The 19th century buildings in particular are quite special and look rather different from what they do from the ones in Paris, the Haussmannian styles of building. They're very elegant, but there are some architectural touches that make them look different. So here we are at the foot of this church called l'Église Notre-Dame la Delbad, D-A-L-B-A-D-E. I want to give you a peek here from where I stand because it's massive. Now you will notice the facade is rather austere, and that's typical of the Meridional Gothic style. Let's cross the street so I can show you the facade a little better. My mask is slipping. Bonjour. Vero, if we haven't met yet. Good to see you. So here is the beautiful church Notre-Dame de la Delbad. The main gate or portal dates back to the Renaissance in the 16th century. It's also famous for its beautiful mosaic scene right above the portal. A stunning rose window, and really the sun catching this red brick. It's beautiful. Perfect time of day to see it. Now the interesting story about this church is that it was really well known for its bell tower that stood at about 300 feet. And in the 1920s, unexpectedly, overnight, it just collapsed. And they never rebuilt it. So Les Carmes is I think you get a picture of this neighborhood. Lots of small streets like these. I want to take this one, which is Rue du Pont de Tunis, Street of the Bridge of Tunis, T-O-U-N-I-S. Because this will take us to the river. It's really fun to look at the architectural details in most cities, but in particular in Toulouse. There are some doors here that rival those you see in Paris, and details on the facades as well. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but these shutters are actually that pale blue, that pastel blue I was telling you about, and see how it's enhanced by the brick around the windows. Street art is in Toulouse, it's everywhere. The Symphony of Dreams is the title. La Symphonie des Songes. Now would you look at this gate? And would you look at the gentleman looking down at us? He's laughing his head off, I believe. I've always liked this neighborhood. You can spend a couple of hours around here, walk in all sorts of little streets like these, and see very unique buildings. When you're tired, you can sit down at one of the cafes and have a nice meal. You may have heard Toulouse is famous for hearty food, as is a large part of the southwest. Duck is a favorite ingredient here. Now, you may be surprised to see we are standing on the bridge above the street. This bridge is actually here Because instead of the street, a long time ago, you had an arm of the river, the Garonne, that ran under this bridge, and that's why they built it. So now it's a road. It used to be a river. Or should I say, the arm, the small arm of a big river, the mighty Garonne. And, in fact, the river, La Garonne, is at the end of the street. This is the perfect time of day to see the Garonne Riverbanks with the sunset. And if you wait another couple of hours, because days are still long right now in August, all the facades along the river get lit up. And it is a beautiful show. These trees are the famous platane or plane trees, also called sycamore trees. They line many French roads around the country, especially in southern France, where shade is much needed. So let's try and cross And here you are, my friends, by the Garonne River. The mighty Garonne that starts in the Pyrenees and goes all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. Here are some Toulousains enjoying their city. I will try and give you a better view over there. The sun is facing me. Wherever you look, there are places to sit and have a drink. In front of us is one of the local celebrities. It is the oldest bridge in town, and it is known as le Ponef, the New Bridge. It wasn't built that long ago, but I can tell you it's the only bridge in Toulouse that was never taken down by the river. It's a very angry river at times. It floods, it's flooded the city, it took down a bridge, damaged another one, and then when they built Le Ponef, the structure of the bridge makes it more resistant, I guess. And the Garonne hasn't been able to take it down yet. I'm sure they check on it very regularly. One thing I really enjoy to do in Toulouse is walk along the Garonne Riverbanks. And this is quite a long walk you can take. You can do it up here, or you can do it down there. Either way, nice views await. A few days ago, I took my club members, the Friends with Vero club members, on a private walk along the riverbanks to another place a little bit farther up, special place in Toulouse, and they really enjoyed that walk. I share content every day in social media, in Facebook, on Instagram, but if you really want to get exclusive content, stories, photos, videos, or live streamed walks, you should consider joining the Friends with Vero Club. A small contribution each month will unlock many rewards for you. You can look up the video notes on YouTube to see how you can join and look up the club benefits, or you can go to patreon.com/FrenchGirlInSeattle. I am very grateful to all the club members who are supporting my business and enabling all of us to enjoy this content during my travels this summer. So merci beaucoup. This Stroll is dedicated to them. And if this is not a classic shot in Toulouse, I don't know what is. Le Ponef looking at us. Behind it is the Hôtel Dieu. It used to be 2 hospitals, now it's only 1. There are several along the Garonne. We were talking earlier about the 19th century architecture in Toulouse. It can be brick, or it can be a mix of stone and brick. But what you will see is a lot of wrought iron railings, balconies on the facades, and those very special covers above the windows. And it gives Toulouse a very elegant appearance. Some of the buildings can be massive. These are really beautiful. You see the glasswork above this door at number 120. It's really pretty. I may be biased. I think Toulouse is beautiful at any time of day, at any time of the day, but I think it particularly shines at sunset. The pink city. You see the structure of the bridge now, you see it better. You see how they built those sections in the front, very massive concrete posts. And it's proved a very successful strategy, even when the Garonne gets angry. Because Le Pont Neuf, the old bridge, is still standing. I can see there are a lot of people over there by a popular section known as le Por De La Dorada. It's named after a local church. It's actually another basilica. Toulouse has a couple. I took you to Saint-Cernin. La Dorade is also one. Bella Tolosa, beautiful Toulouse. Local doggy, just hanging in there. People enjoying drinks in the street. Now I can show you what's across from us over there on the left bank. It's called La Prairie des Filtres, the prairie of filters. It refers to a filtration system they have to get the water out of the Garonne into local fountains. And it's a beautiful green space where they have a lot of concerts and cultural events. It sits right across from us. It's a little bit shady now, shaded. All right. Toulouse is a very modern city. You have a metro, a tram, very good public transportation. But the best way to see it is on foot. Oh, I think this is the perfect spot. It's a little loud. Here are the beautiful Garonne Riverbanks. The Hotel Dieu is on the left and the big Ferris wheel is next to it. It will be all lit up at night. If you continued straight ahead on the right-hand side, you would arrive at the one of the canals. The famous Canal du Midi goes through Toulouse. That's another lovely walk or stroll you can do around here.
Ah, qu'est-ce que c'est?
This is my favorite section of the walk. We are going to walk past the beautiful Palais des Arts, which is an art school now. Like I said, Toulouse is a university city or university town. Lots of students here. We are on le Quai de la Dorade, named after that church I was talking about. Here's a nice view of the facade. Famous architects and artists and painters' names are on the facade. On the right-hand side, I don't know if you can read it, I see Viollet-le-Duc. Viollet-le-Duc did some work in Toulouse, as he did in Paris and in many other French cities and areas. He worked on that Basilica Saint-Cernin, where I took you in the live stream walk. Look at the facade of this building. Just spectacular. I see Mansart, Géricault, Delacroix, David, Lebrun. I mean, those are all the big names. And right next to the school is the Basilica, Église de la Dorade. It's spelled D-A-U-R-A-D-E, but it refers to the fact that there were golden mosaics, as in doré in French, D-O-R-E. There was a golden mosaic on the facade that's not there anymore. But inside there is a beautiful Black Virgin. Here is the facade of l'Église de la Dorade, with the School of Fine Arts we just saw right next to it. If you are interested in religious sites, if you are interested especially in the meridional style, not necessarily this one, you have a lot of places to see in Toulouse. There used to be convents here. We have many beautiful religious structures here. The sunset is going to make it hard to show much more. But I hope I have convinced you to come to Toulouse and check out this beautiful city. You can hop on the TGV from Paris and it will take a little over 4 hours to get you here. You'll go through Bordeaux. Here is Le Ponef. And across from us are the remnants of an old bridge that was here and was eventually taken down. It was in fact the only bridge for a really long time in medieval times. It was a covered bridge. There's another one on the right-hand side. Le Pont Saint-Pierre. and like I said, Le Ponef, the oldest bridge. Thank you for joining me today in Toulouse. I hope you've enjoyed this walk. I always like showing off my hometown, my beautiful hometown, and it's always fun to come here where I still have family. And I hope you'll consider visiting Toulouse as well. Merci, à bientôt.